everyone. We are back for another live trading session. I'm your host, Dave. How you doing? How you doing? Let me know how you're doing in the chat, where you're watching us from. It's going to be an interesting one again today. We have the CPI print, so we're going to look at the data that just came out. We're going to, glance over it. And the market has reacted interestingly. Market is pushing up. And then I definitely want to talk later if Steve joins about that Tesla IPO that everybody has been talking about. We will be broadcasting live on that day, on Friday the 12th. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Usually these big IPOs happen later on during the day, so don't expect it to happen early in the morning. But we will be live, and yeah. Let's see what we can get into. So right now I have the Nasdaq, the NQ pulled up. Give me just 1 second, guys. All right, I have Tinana in the house. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Just figuring something out right there, guys. 1 second. I want to remind you, actually, let me put these up. We have the Trading World Championship going on, and somebody else has taken the league, 199%. Man, these guys are printing profits. Give me just 1 sec, Caesar. I'm figuring something out right now. All right, guys, let me know. Let me know where you're watching us from. Let me know how you're doing. Just figuring something out really quickly in the background. Let me get these charts up. All right, I think we're good. All right, I have my man Caesar joining me back live. How you doing? How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Awesome.
How are you thinking about this newsprint we got today? I have it loaded there.
CPI came in a little higher than the previous. I was expecting the market to pop up off of the CPI just based off of how it was looking on a 1 hour. What I've seen in the past is that usually if the market is down before CPI, we end up having a rally, and if the CPI is going to drop, they'll actually run the market up during Asia and London. So it was the opposite. So I was expecting a long, which I did take a long on NQ, NES. So I'm starting the morning up about 3K so far.
Nice.
So CPI came out. I like this for longs just based off of the amount of selling off that we've done the last few days. It has to relieve some pressure, right? So if you recall on Monday when I hopped on, I spoke about how once something moves tremendously in one direction, at some point it has to relieve some pressure in order for it to continue in that downward direction or to continue in that upward direction. So because we've sold off literally for 2 days, I mean over 3%. I mean, and yesterday was just wicked.
Yesterday
Like
was insane. Yesterday
3.5%
we went down. What is
and
it?
then
5.4.
yeah, and then reverse to fully, like not fully recover, but it went from being down 3.5% to just ending the day down 1%.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like I'm just
Crazy. Yeah. So we went
yeah.
back up about 3.3%. We had gone down 544. Like let's talk in terms of points. 1,600 points down.
From the highs, yup.
Yeah, it's crazy in a single day. And I thought when I saw that 1,000 point day, I think when it was when Trump got elected in November. That was that we had 1,000 point day. I thought that was impressive, but that's one times and a half this, and then
Yeah,
950 plus points up.
from the recover.
So yeah, crazy,
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
crazy.
crazy times, man. So yeah, so with the numbers coming in slightly higher than the previous, honestly, like the biggest thing to take away from CPI is like, based on the numbers, like, is it going to cause the Feds to cut or to hike, right? And everything we say is speculative because we could say, oh, based on these numbers, the Feds are most likely going to cut. But
Hmm.
there's other factors that they could be looking into to determine whether they cut or whether they raise, right? So it's in cases
I
like that, I
mean,
could say, anyone's guess is good as mine when it comes to that. But it's just more so, really just paying attention to the charts and finding areas where you're comfortable, taking a position. And like I said, today, like if you look at a 1 hour time frame, look at the amount of selling off that we've done, right? And then last night was literally all sell-offs from Asia to London this morning. It was all sell, 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 sell. We got a
yep,
major data coming out. It's like, okay, we should see some sort of a pressure reliever, and there are some levels to the upside where if price gets over, then we can say, okay, the bulls are really about to start stepping in.
yeah,
As it stands right now, we do have some more downside, and then on Friday we have, Friday's like the last day of these current contracts, right?
hmm,
So Friday we're probably gonna end up having a lot of volatility, or if everyone's pretty much unwind their position in these last few days, Friday could be like basically a dud day.
yeah. We'll see what happens on Friday. But I have to tell you that depending on when the IPO happens, that might do a little bit of a shakeup. Everybody's talking about that. You know,
SpaceX,
I'm
yeah,
about to say Tesla, but no, that's SpaceX
SpaceX, yeah,
IPO.
yep.
Definitely want to get your opinion on that a little bit further. When we're deeper
Yeah.
into the
Um,
stream. But
okay.
back to um, the what we're seeing on the indices right now. Definitely, I think we need some pressure relief. But if we go, much higher on a higher time frame, we're looking at the dailies. Do you think there's room to continue further down? Because if we look overall from all time highs, let me measure this in terms of percentage. We've pulled back from wick to wick about 8.3%.
Yep.
And in a bull market, that's very healthy. I
Yeah.
I would say even if we were to pull back 20%, which would, everybody would be flipping out. That's still healthy for a bull market. So
Correct.
20%
Correct.
would put you all the way down to the 24 500s more or less. So what's your thinking there? Do you think, this was just a quick profit taking, contracts rolling over, et cetera, and then we're just gonna continue up? Or
Yeah.
do you think based on how everything else has been moving, we still have room to move lower?
We definitely have room to move lower, given the interest on, like, what's gonna happen with SpaceX this Friday, right? So
Yeah.
I'll tap into that. But where it stands right now, we could move lower. But in order for us to move lower, we would have to close underneath that previous daily wick, right? So if we
Okay.
close underneath it, then yes, we could continue. But as long as price is staying within this range, that like if you mark off the bottom of that wick to the top of to the top of that previous was it body base, that red candle and green candle?
So the top there,
No, not there. No, the bottom. Go
from
down.
here to here.
Yep, right there.
Okay, let me
So
put it in blue.
if price close anywhere in this area, we still have more upside. Price would have to close underneath it, right? Do like a very dramatic move to the downside, and then I would look for price to pull back into that area to continue lower, right? So
Okay.
where it stands right now, the actual previous daily candle, I like those wicks because what that tells me is that there was a lot of buying in this area, right? So there was a lot of positions here where now I'm thinking today we're going to end up seeing a green daily candle. And if today's candle consumes this previous daily candle, we're going back up to all-time highs.
Okay, so if we would consume this and close somewhere
Yes.
around here,
Yep.
then it would be basically the inverse of what we're seeing right now. You know, we wick basically wick down,
Yep.
which we did, move back up,
Yep.
maybe, you know, find some selling here and then continue to the upside.
Correct.
All right, so we'll see what happens. But the good thing here is we have two scenarios. We have the bullish case, we have the bearish case. But I myself always like to see, because you know we move up, down, or sideways, and I hate
Yep.
sideways action. Well, maybe
Yep.
hate is a strong word, but yeah, we might also see some sideways action if the market can't decide what to do. So keep that in mind, guys. And you know, that would probably look something like us oscillating, you know, not being able to push higher, reacting to these levels, and probably, you know, unable to push lower than this, and then we're continuing here until the market decides what it wants to do. So all right, we're gonna see what happens. The good thing is the market will eventually tell us where it wants to go.
Correct.
So we'll see,
Yep.
we'll see. By the way, if you want to pull up your charts and your share your screen,
Give me
that
a
would be
few.
great. Take your time. We're good. We have IG6207. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Always good to see you here. Let me know what you're trading. Let me know what you're looking at. By the way, we are also live on Discord today. So for everybody who is on Discord, you can check us out. The stream is on Discord. It is on Twitter. And we'll probably be live on other spots very soon. I'm cooking up stuff in the background. So yeah, we're gonna be live everywhere. All right. So we took a good look at the NQ. Right now, I want to switch over. I think the theme is probably similar on the ES, right? We've just been,
Yeah.
if we're comparing the two, I think we've seen some relative weakness on the ES, a little bit more strength on the Nasdaq. I mean, if we compare the two bottoms, you know what? Let me just pull them up on TradingView. It'll be easier for everybody to see where we stand. If we put this on a daily chart, these are the Qs. Let me put the futures contract up. This is the NQ to the upside, and then on the top one, and then here at the bottom daily chart, let's put the ES. And if we're comparing them, in my opinion, we're seeing, you know, a little bit of weakness here, but I think it's totally normal because the NQ is tech, and tech has been leading the way, you know, this past, I don't know, year or more with that whole AI
Past
theme.
few years,
Yeah.
especially Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia for a couple of years in a row, their earnings was literally, propping the market up, and then now and then with the chips and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
tech's been leading the way for, I'll probably say, that the last maybe 4 years or so.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, you know, a little bit of relative weakness here, but we're gonna see what happens when the market opens. I really want to touch on gold, as we usually do, because we know we have a lot of gold traders here. Gold, I've been talking about this liquidity area for I don't know how long. Well, we've tapped into it. We've pushed lower. When was it? Around May, beginning of May, when everybody was screaming, "Hey, we're gonna push to the upside," and then we started curling back down, thinking, okay, we're going to find support around those 4500s. Well, guess what? We're pushing lower. And you know, I had my line here around those 4200s. So what's your take here on gold? Do you think there's still further downside? Do we need to go and test lower around this, let's call it, and this is way down before we had this huge final rally around the 3700s, which would be, from where we are now, about 10% lower.
Yeah, gold, I could see gold dropping to two levels, 40.57 and 39.40. Looking at a daily, I mean, this thing is, yeah, it's looking to unwind somewhere. It has some more downside. Where I would probably be looking to get back in gold, let's say long term, would be around 39, 39.40. So we're looking at another possible 200 points to the downside.
Yeah, 39.40 would be around, let's see, it's around here, which would be, yeah, about 6% lower.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's like the big grand scheme of things. On today, I mean, today it's already down quite a bit. It's down 120, almost 3% down on the day. I would be looking for some sort of a bounce play on it, as I look at Nasdaq and ES as well. So I would be looking for the same thing. Where I would like to see gold get over would be, I would like to see gold get over 41.80 to attempt a long, up to 42.05. If it keeps going, so be it. But I would just be looking to scalp this for about maybe 20 to 15 points.
Okay, so quick scout there. By the way, you need to share your screen, Caesar, to show what you're looking at. I'm trying to follow what you're saying, but I'd rather, you be the one showing it. By the way, we have IG6207 asking if you have socials he can follow.
Yeah, my social, Rig24 is my IG, and then Wriggleson. Yeah, Rig24 is my IG, my
All
Instagram.
right, he'll find you there.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen.
No problem. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get you going there. 1 second. I feel like a DJ mixing in the background. Oh, screen fell off. You need to load it back again. No, it's not Raise. RIG.
Yes,
So
RIG.
RIG. I'm gonna put it in the chat. RIG
24.
24. Race. No, I added it in the chat. It's RIG 24.
Yep.
Raise 24. Raise 24 million. That would be good.
Let me double check because I'm like I don't even know my own IG.
Man, I'm working on getting
Yeah,
my
Rig 24.
socials because just like you, I don't have a social media presence at all. Well, privately, yes, but not publicly. And everybody's harping on me to get socials. So I think next week I'll have all my socials ready.
Gotcha.
By the way, I think you need to reshare the screen,
Okay.
Caesar. Yeah, I know you were about to ask. I'll have one next week. And then
All
next
right.
week, I'll be everywhere on all the social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I'm
X.
working on it.
Yep.
Ah, sorry, I still call it Twitter. I don't like
Yeah,
the name
I
X.
still say
It's
the same thing.
ridiculous.
I'm like, oh, Twitter is like, oh, it's X. I'm like,
I keep
tomato,
for
tomato.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's X. People get it. Twitter.
All right. So here's my 4 hour on gold. The level that I was calling out is on the daily, and it is right here. See this base right here? So I would be targeting this base right here and then down here as well.
Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, 39. Yeah, I got it.
Right? So these would be the areas where I'm looking for price to come down to, where I would feel comfortable and scaling back in. I mean, obviously there are more levels to the downside, but I don't think we'll surpass that based off of where we were. We should see some reaction and buying and defending here. And if you look, there's a wick, right? There's a wick that is yet to be filled around 4100. So another 50 points down, which we could see that today. And so watch basically for 4100 as a psychological level and this wick area right here for some sort of a bounce or reaction this morning.
So, all right, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens there. Actually, since we're doing a lot of short term trading, like I say, the way I trade live personally is not necessarily the way I trade everything. We have a 2 hour window, and I try to take trades that make sense during that 2 hour window. So I would like to know, when you're doing short-term intraday trading, and we're gonna do it live here and put in practice what we preach. What are you looking at? For example, I'm looking at levels first, then I'm looking at the speed of price. So let's call it a trend. I'm looking at the volume data. So if I always compare it to a store, how many people are walking in the store, how many people are walking out. When you have those door busters like Black Friday events, a bunch of people walk in the store ready to buy. So logically, the price would go up. That's why you see, if you're having an up move with an increase in volume, it's validating that. And then if we've already went up and you have a volume increase with a wick, it's like people are running out of the store. So I'm looking at volume, I'm looking at levels. Um, And then as I'm getting ready to enter, I kind of look at a little bit of a pattern formation. So you're looking for maybe a W bottom on the 1 minute or whatever time frame you're trading at. I like to know you. What are you I see you use moving averages, but of course we talked about it the other day. They're not like it hits this one and then I'm gonna buy whatever.
Yeah,
So I'd
no.
like to know more or less what is your approach, at least short term, for what's relevant here in the chat, and we'll get into swing trading further.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
So short term, I'll start off on a 4 hour chart, right? Just to see where we're at, how far we're up or down. Then I'll transition into a 1 hour time frame, and again, I'll look for levels, right? So instantly I can see if price gets back above 41.96, I know we could possibly head back up to test yesterday's low, right? But price would need to close above there, either a 1 hour or a 15 minute chart.
Hmm.
Then from there, I go down to a 15-minute time frame, and now I'm going to be looking for either double bottoms. I'm going to be looking for like a W pattern. So like right now, we could see we're forming a W pattern, right?
Hmm.
So the W would bring us back up to 4203. Right here, this is a higher low. So what I'll do is I'll mark the low of the day off, which is 4152, and then I'm gonna mark this base off right here, 4158. Price stays above this, I'm looking for longs. Price gets below it and it can't hold above it, I'm gonna look for shorts. But like I said, instantly I can see that we're forming a W pattern, which
Hmm.
means we're gonna have some buy-in stepping in. It might not last. It might undo the whole move, right? But that's all subjective. But immediately, what I'm seeing is buys are gonna step in. So I'm gonna wait for this 15-minute candle to close, right? And then maybe ideally I can get an entry at 41.64. So 41.64, I'll start my first position, and then I'll leave room to add another contract at 41.59, 41.60, and have my 3 point stop loss, which would be around 41.56.
Hmm. Oh, so you're using a 3 point stop loss?
Yeah,
Because I
with
was going to
gold,
ask
with
you
gold, I
where.
always use a 3 point. Yeah,
Okay.
depending, because I'm scaling in, right? So I'm not in full position. If
Yeah.
I'm in, I mean, full position, or even half, like if I'm in partial position, I'll risk a little bit more. But if I'm in full position, I'm risking 3 points for my entry.
Got it. Interesting.
Mhm.
I'm curious. Why 3 points?
It's just what I found. It's best for me because like depending on how big of a position I'm doing, right? So if I do two minis, I'm risking $600 to make 2,000.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Uh,
Or even if I'm risking if I do one mini,
almost 4 to 1. Yeah.
yeah, I'm risking $300 to make 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, so that would be a 3 to 1. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. I was trying to understand why the 3 point stop, and why not maybe a level or a wick or something like that. So interesting. Okay,
Because
I
I'm
like it.
getting in, because like where I'm not just getting in at a random place, right? I'm getting in at a place that I see to be a level, to be a support, to be resistance. So
Yeah.
me getting into that level, it shouldn't move no more than maybe two, 2.5. If it moves, if it stops me out, in many cases where it'll stop me out, but the thesis is still intact, I'll just re-enter.
Okay. All right, no problem. I like it. I like it. So you're getting into very specific levels, so your risk can be tight.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty
I
much.
like that. I like that. I like that. Well, we're gonna see this live soon, and we'll see what happens. We're about 3 minutes from the open, guys.
Hmm.
So if you have any questions, ask away. If you have anything you want to know, let us know in the chat. We're gonna switch back to my screen. I'm gonna have these indices pulled, and we're gonna see how the market reacts. Right, as usual, I'm gonna wait a little bit before I pick my spots, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We had a great day the other day with Caesar and Alejandra. Unfortunately, Alejandra couldn't join us today, but she'll be back soon. And yep, we're live. We're live. So, since it's CPI, by the way, I wanted to touch on this a little bit for those who don't know. A lot of people call it the CP lie, right? And Jane, who's here usually with me on Tuesdays, is calls it the CP lie, and I kind of understand why. It's because to measure this, they use a basket of things, right? Many things. And then so there's things like food, rent, gas, clothes, medical care, whatever, and they're measuring the variation in pricing between these things to determine, okay, did things get expensive or not. But there's a trick these guys play to make the numbers look better. So for example, let's say you have steak in the measure, and then the month after, steak gets more expensive. Well, they'll be like, steak is not, a key thing that people use every month, so they'll take the steaks out of the equation. And that's why a lot of people call it the CP lie, because these numbers sometimes get manipulated. So what you can do if you're nerdy like me, you can literally measure how much, track the prices of things you pay for every month. I have an Excel sheet where I kind of track things like gas, meat that I buy every month, things that I pay for every month. And my inflation number is close to 20%. It's not,
Alright,
it's not
so
20% year over
open,
year. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Market is open. Let us
open,
see what happens.
spikaroo, let's go.
Whoa,
Oh,
okay.
beautiful, beautiful pop.
Thought we
That
would get
was
a better
nice.
wick. I guess we're taking off. Let's give it a little bit more. See if we get a push lower, but this might take off. Okay, so we're reacting to this initial pocket here. We've sold once, we've sold twice, but we're trying to break out of it. If we do, there's a lot of room to the upside. Let me get my bracket on. Man, the the width of the range have gotten a lot bigger. Let me see, how much is that? That's 100. It looks like nothing, guys, but that's a 125-point candle right there, or 1 minute candle. So the ranges have expanded quite a bit. I'm thinking maybe I'll
Ooh,
switch to the ES for this account.
smackdown.
Yep, getting smacked.
Right, let's see. I'm looking for an entry on NQ around 820. I'll
Okay,
start scaling
820
in.
right there, right at VWAP.
Uh,
Just a
where is
little
it?
bit lower.
Huh. No, it's well for me it's
For
actually
me,
below VWAP. Hold on. Yeah,
my VWAP is anchored to midnight, so
yeah,
that might
mine
be
is
the price difference.
888. Mine
Yours is what?
mine is 888. So right now my VWAP
888.
is to the upside.
Okay, your VWAP is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And it's so funny because on another platform I have it's at 912, but on TradingView it's oh nice. Okay, no fill. On TradingView, it's at 28,888. Yeah, so right now it's at VWAP. It's so
What
funny.
on which time frame are you looking at it? Because
Uh,
it varies also depending on which time frame.
well, so 5 minute on one
Okay.
platform, and on TradingView, it doesn't matter the time frame. It's still the same. So if I'm on a 15 minute, it's still 28,888. If I switch to a 30 minute time frame, oh, hold on. That was hold on, one. Let's see.
All right, sellers stepping in a little bit, trying to hold this down.
Yeah, this is okay. Come on.
I think your screen dropped off again, by the way.
Oh, hold
If
on.
you want to share your trading view or anything to show us what you're looking at.
Yep, gotcha. Let's see. Let's actually share my thinkorswim.
A lot of indecision in this candle, in these candles right now. All right, you're back on.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, here's a 20. Here's a 20. I'm in long, 1 micro, 8.
All right, Rich is in.
No.
Just for the fun of it, I'll take the same position so you guys can see.
Let's go up 20 points.
I'll risk a little bit more. I'll risk 2R. 1R for me is $100 on these 25K accounts.
Let's go.
Just so you guys can be entertained. That's not usually how I enter, but
I'm sharing my screen, by the way. So my stop loss is going to be 800 even.
Let's put you on. Give me 1 second here while I...
Come on. Hold the line. I might get stopped. Stopped out.
Okay. Yep, we're getting stopped out. Okay, I'm 1R in loss, so I'm gonna get stopped out as well. I'm just following Caesar for now.
Okay. And then my 50 was a solid rejection.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the range to form and see what I see. See what I like to see, and then I'll take my position. All right, Steve is in the house.
Okay.
1 second. Get your screen going. Whoa.
Volatility's here.
They're buying. What's up, Steve? Give me 1 second. I gotta... All right, and you're live. Mr. Super Steve Tillman is in the house. Of course, as usual, I need a celebration.
Well, that's...
You've met Caesar, but you probably have because he was on TTP.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, guys? That was quite a little entrance there.
Yeah, we're making it fun. We're making it fun. You know, we have fireworks going.
Oh, there we go.
Right? It's gonna be July soon, so we're ready. Okay, we have balloons going. And a bunch of other stuff. But let me stop with the background stuff. Let's get ready into this trading. Man, I probably should have held this thing. Let's see if we get another pullback. See how gold is looking. How you doing, Steve? Ready for that Friday IPO?
Yes, sir. I couldn't be more ready. I'm ready for some big fireworks. No pun intended there. It's going to be exciting. It's gonna
I
be
think
exciting. Do you
so
think it's
too.
the end of the world? Do you think we're gonna crash?
Crash? No, I don't call them crashes. I
Yeah,
call them discounts. All
there
right.
you go.
I call them how do you call those? 2 for ones. Or what's the name? I can't remember. What's those racks they have in the
Oh, the
clothing
BOGO.
stores? There you go. BOGO. We buy
I
one,
got
get one free. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm in, I'm in. I'm liking this push so far here. I'm seeing just on I love looking at my SPX chart just for the day trade and stuff, and we're just starting to break into the gap. So I'm excited to see if we can get some push going here. How
Yep,
you guys
yep,
feeling
yep.
about this morning session?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. I like the longs overall. On NQ, ES. I mean, this thing is already what the heck? It's already pushing. I like 29 140 on NQ. Tried a long at 820, got stopped out, but I'm looking to get back in it. Probably gonna look to enter around this 28 950. But if it breaks the highs, I'm just gonna chase.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, I
We've
think we're
got that room up
getting
top there.
we could catch this breakout, I think.
Yep.
All right, we're breaking
Come on.
out.
Give me like this.
Looking
Expect
good.
a pullback. This is way too much risk, but whatever.
No. Oh, come on. No.
So I'll let you guys know in about 8 points, I'm starting to see just a little bit of potential resistance. You know, we got about the 20 points on SPX ES up until that gap fill there, and that's usually where I like to look for that little morning kind of coupling trade filling that gap. Any particular? I guess you guys are both
You want
trading your Qs there, David, right?
Yeah, I'm trading my NQ, even though I should be on the ES because the risk is ridiculous here for this 25K account.
Dude,
But yeah,
it's
it's
been
hard to
crazy.
manage the risk. Let me see what the ES looks like. Yeah, it would be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Yeah.
gonna move over and trade the ES because yeah, it's hard to manage. I was trying to take that breakout maybe for continuation, but doesn't look like it's gonna work. But that's fine. By the way, Steve, whenever you're ready, you can share your screen because I know you always have those interesting levels for
On
us.
950.
Awesome. Thank
Enter
you. I'm
2 micros.
almost there.
Nice, no problem. Take your time. You're in at 950. You said
Yes.
nice. All right. Wait, let me get your screen ready.
All right. When you are ready, I have a little something to show y'all, but no rush at all.
Yeah, just getting this ready since we used a different link this morning.
Oh yeah, sorry about the
No, you're
confusion
fine.
there.
You're fine. You're fine.
Evie Mux was out to get me. All right, there it is. Nice. So guys, what we got here, once I navigate, will be some levels for you for ES, basically the daily intraday gamma exposure profile here. We can talk about this once my chart catches up with me. I'm lagging a little
No, you're
bit.
fine. You're fine.
All right, in general, we're looking at this kind of blob here as a gamma exposure profile, or a profile that's going to be telling us where the gamma lies, where these possible kind of underlying currents might be for intraday hedging requirements. What I mean to say here is that, well, we have some key levels here that I want to see us reclaiming for the potential to kind of push up. This 7,400. This pivot's going to be really important here for ES. These are all ES numbers. If we can claim over that, which I believe we're getting pretty close. Let me double check with the SPX levels. Yeah. So sorry, I'll have all of the correlative levels here shortly, but basically I'm looking for the 7,400 to be the kind of make or break pivot. If we can get above there, I think the door does open up nicely to the upside for a potential, yeah, to keep on climbing. Shoot, sorry, I thought I had these levels ready and having a lag and my brain here, so I can bounce back with the exact levels once I get the conversions going here. Apologies there.
You're fine. You're fine.
But yeah, that 7,400 is going to be my first pivot to watch for sure.
By the way, guys, I stopped out. I was looking for this to be kind of a breakout, but didn't happen. So I'm going to wait and go back to my usual method of trading and waiting for some levels to develop. I was just having a little bit of FOMO today.
It happens. And, you know, I'm looking for this 15-minute range here. I like these kind of 15-minute orbs. So we've got one coming up in 3 minutes. Maybe we get the breakout from the top here. They was coming for Dave's stop. It's the worst.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I still would like this gap to fill, though. I think that that's the orb setup there. Nice little straight shot. If we do get that close above the 15-minute range, yeah, a little 30% or 0.3% on SPX, a little more on NQ. And guys,
on NQ.
Nice. Those ranges have been pretty big on NQ, so great trading.
Yeah, they're insane. They're insane. We've had, what is it, so far, 250 points of displacement just in, what, less than 15 minutes? Usually that's a whole day. I mean, usually average range on the Nasdaq will be 200, 350 points. So yeah, and then that opening range will usually be under 100 points, so 80 points, whatever. But these days it's been crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did all of my trading overnight. I was up late, couldn't sleep, and there was just wild, good tradable price action on NQ. And so with just like a micro or two, I was able to make my little bag there in the relatively quiet hours. But even then, there were some big candles, some 30, 40 point candles. I was like,
Next
man.
stop 140. Now we're going.
All right, now we're taking off.
Yep, we're taking off.
Love it.
I'm long in another account, but not on this Black Arrow account, so I'll need to get a better entry.
I'm going to be pulling some fresh GEX levels here too, because we are 15 minutes in, starting to get some more progression on this.
Thank you, IG6207, for letting us know.
Let's go. Come on. 140.
Yeah,
140.
we're taking off. We're taking off.
Give us that gap fill. Come on.
140 is your target?
140 is my target, yep.
Nice.
Let's go.
I don't know why, Caesar, but your screen keeps dropping off.
Yeah, I'm having some issues here.
You're printing too many millions and the screen doesn't want us to see it. That's what's going on.
I'm running multiple platforms, so that's why.
All right. Thank you for the info, IG6207. So for anybody who wants to know, IG, let us know. Okay, we finally have the opening range.
Yeah.
I'll switch back. Okay, so this morning I gave you a great example of undisciplined trading. Took 2 losses back to back just because I was trying stuff out, but it's fine. That's the advantage of trading prop accounts, is that you can always reset and have fun with it. Somebody the other day was like, man, you're aggressive, Dave. Well, yeah, because it's a prop account. We're good.
Gotta send it, right?
Yeah, it's like, let's try. All right, so right now we have this 45-minute opening range. Let's get that midpoint going, and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm thinking about, both long and short. So, as usual, multiple possibilities for setups is what? You have your orb going, you break out of the range, right? You could take that break, but it's pretty risky. You saw what happened there, and we get the pullback. It's usually better to wait for a pullback to get in. So couple ways. If we break out of there, you wait for a pullback above the top of that range. That would align with this previous resistance we're seeing here, or this one here, right? And then you get your continuation to the upside. I have the levels I'm targeting here where we have a pretty wide range. So there is definitely room, if this wants to really go, to target those 29,250s all the way up to those, let's call it 29,400s as upside targets. So possibility one is what? You break out of the range, you pull back, you enter somewhere here on the pullback, targeting your prior high as your first target, and then here as your second target, right? Second possibility is what? We actually pull back from where we're at now up into those prior resistance levels, and that's the trade I would prefer, but we'll see if we get it. So that would be your second possibility of going long. It looks like we're going to get the breakout now. So we'll see. Or you could scale in, wait. You're risking this low. It's a pretty wide range, though. It's man, you're risking 250 points, which is crazy. I think I'm gonna switch to the ES because these ranges are too much for this account. Let's see what we get on the ES.
100. I'm dropping one at 100.
All right, scaling out.
140.
I'll switch to your screen so you can show where you're getting in and out. You good to go?
Yes.
By the way, guys, I don't think you guys realize the mental challenge of talking, streaming, me, DJ in the background, and taking trades on multiple accounts. So
it's wild.
It's interesting. Yeah, wild is the correct word. I 1000% agree with that word.
Dave, it feels like one of those like twister. It's like when you're trying to like pat your head and rub your tummy and like do like 3 different things at once, and like your brain just refuses.
Yeah.
So it's really tricky. I do it every day and I still don't know how, to be honest. It's a tough skill. We are getting the expansion into this gap fill. I'm loving to see that push.
We're getting the expansion. So we're going to do it the first way I said you could do it. We're going to take the breakout, wait for a pullback, add on the pullback.
Love it. And I just want to see what we do here with this 7380 on SPX.
Let's see. Wave 5810. Can you get any giveaway? Well, here's a giveaway for you. If you buy one account now, you get a second chance free, right? So you get a free reset if you buy a brand new account. So it's for first time futures users. It's going on all throughout the month of June all the way into July. So you could do that. That's number one. Number two, if you like predictions, because obviously you're a trader, you could get in and go predict the next World Cup games, who's going to win, who's going to lose, and then you'll have the opportunity to win some accounts there as well. So there you go. These are the 2 giveaways we have running right now. We'll definitely have more stuff coming soon, but this is what we have going on right now.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see. It looks like you're looking at some levels here, Steve. So I'll put your screen back up.
Sure. So grain of salt, I'm still fine-tuning. This is a big testing week for me in my system. I'm also fighting. You can maybe see my lag. This is my indicators.
No, you're fine.
Cursor's jumping around here. But in general, these are morning levels. And what we saw is we came up to the 0 gamma, and that is exactly where we are starting to see that resistance. And you can see if I mouse over there, it says the key pivot where dealer gamma flips. And it's going to be a price magnet up to there, but it's going to take a good amount to punch through. So if we can get through, then we do have that room to really turn and burn up another 20, 30, potentially 40 points. But that's going to be tough. And it might be mission accomplished for this morning session coming into this 0 gamma. But we'll see. We're going to be back testing the morning range here, the opening range here. And let's see. I bet if we slap a fib on here, we'll find something worth noting.
Let us see what we get.
Perhaps the equilibrium in the session VWAP, those aligning kind of at this 7350 SPX, which if we flip to ES, that'll be what? Plus 24 points roughly.
7350, so that would be what? 7375?
Yes, sorry. I'm like trying to access the math part of my brain.
No, you're fine. I know it's early for you all the way on the West Coast.
A little bit. My cat was very annoyed getting up this early because she follows me around everywhere. So
Nice.
she's like sleeping here now, and she's not happy about being out of the bed.
I've never
But
asked you, are you a cat person or?
I'm an animal person, Dave. You know, I
Okay,
love them
nice,
all. I got a golden,
nice,
or
nice.
I got a golden retriever German Shepherd mix
Oh,
upstairs. So
nice. Okay.
big old floofy boy, and then Cleo's down here. She's the
Okay.
boss. She's
Yeah,
great.
she looks like she's comfortable. We want to get Cleo trading someday and see. So we have a dog here, and we have those. I don't know if you've ever seen those buttons that they can use
Oh
to
yeah.
talk.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we got a bunch of those and taught her to talk. So when she wants to go outside, she wants to play, whatever, water, food, she goes and presses the button. I'm like, man, I'm not a programmer, but I would really like to have a buy and sell button connected to whatever platform and then see how well she would do.
That's actually a great idea. I really want to see this happen. Now I've got to see it happen. Um, there might be something there. You know, Cleo's walked on my keyboard before and entered some trades,
Really?
and there's one in particular where she actually had a better exit than I would have. I was gonna hold it, and she said, "No, enough's enough," and she
Enough's
ended up kind of
enough.
top ticking it. So you know,
Interesting.
what can you say? When she's right, she's
Yeah,
right.
that's funny. That
Um,
is funny.
Dave, let's see. I can also show y'all real quick. Let me switch my screen. Uh,
Let me address this comment really quickly before I continue. So you've breached 14 accounts, and that's why you can't afford more. Well, what I would suggest, right, is you take us before asking for giveaways and things like that. Um, I
did
would
I do that? I'm
suggest.
sorry.
No, you're fine. I would suggest that you take a step back, right? You. Let me get these. Let me get my screen back on. 1 second.
Sorry about that. I
No,
think
you're
I
fine.
sabotaged you.
Um. So we're starting to get that pullback I talked about. So let's see if we can hold, which is why it's not ideal to take the breakout because we usually pull back after that. I don't know why my drawings keep duplicating every time.
Oh, I thought that was part of your box trading system or
I
something.
mean, yeah, but I get like a dozen boxes, and that's not the that's not the idea here.
I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but it's provocative, you know? Something's going on there.
Okay, let's get these boxes fixed. Let's get these levels fixed.
Keeping it crispy. So far
Okay,
we
there we
are
go.
getting a back test of that 15-minute orb, and it's trying to hold. We can see
Yeah, it's trying to
that
hold.
reclaim. For me, I think the easy trade, which I missed, you know, was that gap fill up to the 0 gamma there. I see in the morning we even tagged the king, the magnet node at 73.26 SPX, so roughly 73.50 ES, and it seems like, I mean, hey, it held nicely. We came up to the next point of interest. For me, when I get those kind of point-to-point trades and nothing's like jumping out at me, I gotta
Yep.
kind of just wait and see how it settles, you know, because it's kind of like two big magnets. We hit one, we hit the other. Now where do we go? Heck,
Yeah,
I'm never been one for guessing, you know.
that's where we have to, you have to be patient and kind of wait and see what happens.
In
But
my book,
yeah,
well, let me run this by you guys. In my book, like my brain's fighting with, did we do enough of a pullback in the morning to constitute a higher low double bottom on, say, maybe an hourly chart or a 15-minute chart kind of thing there. So that's what I'm grappling with. If we get a breakout of the morning highs, then I think it does a lot to lend to that kind of thesis, and we could look for the bigger push up another, I mean, hey, 50 points potentially in the next day or so here, up to, call it 74.50 ES at the very least, maybe a little bit more. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. But I'm never that. I'm always an optimist, guys. I always want.
that's it. I like it. I like it.
I just want to believe in those higher lows, even if maybe just ain't so. You know, maybe they need to go deeper. So that's what I'm
Maybe
grappling with.
maybe they need to. Maybe they need to. But I like that analysis. I mean, if we zoom out, we were talking about hourlies here. Let's zoom out on the NQ. Let's put this on a cleaner chart. If you look, we had down move, pullback, other down move, pullback to made a higher low. So we might need to continue and go, test a higher level here on those 29,400s or something before we pull back again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Is it a kind of a double bottom? We will see. But back to wave 58110. Yeah, you said you breached 14 accounts and you can't afford any more accounts. So keyword here, you cannot afford. I would pay attention to that. We don't want you, forcing things and buying things. The funny thing about trading is everybody trades because they want to make money. They want to make more money, and probably they don't have a lot of money. And it's totally understandable. But the thing is, before you need to ask yourself, okay, why did you breach so many accounts? And that's perfectly fine. I mean, the first time I tried prop trading, I think I blew up 10 accounts back to back in a couple months. So that's totally fine. Number is not the important thing here. What you should probably do if you're blowing up so many accounts, especially if you don't have the cash to afford it, is you need to probably first figure out, okay, do you have something that works, right? Do you have a strategy that works that can allow you to pass an account? Are you risking too much? So for example, on the 25K accounts here, we have a $1,000 worth of risk. And I tell you guys, one R for me is $100, right? Maybe one R for you should be less. It should be $50. And maybe you need to trade the ES and another asset. So that's what you should be asking yourself first is, do you have a strategy that works? And the only way for you to find out is to try it out repeatedly on a simulator. Pick whatever simulator you want, TradingView, Black Arrow has one, whatever you want. Try that. Try it for a few months. Try it for 3 months, 6 months. Find out if you have an edge first, because if you don't have an edge, if you don't have something that's statistically allows you to, after a certain amount of trades, call it 100 trades, end up positive, even if it's $1 or $2 over, then nothing will save you. Psychology won't save you. Risk management won't save you. Nothing will save you just because you don't have edge. So that's the first thing you need to determine, is whether you have edge or not, right? So that's the first thing you would do. And these days with AI can help you a lot. I've been doing a lot of reviewing of my trading, this ORB that I'm using every day. And I found that it does have edge. But if I was just trading it with zero discretion, the expected value, the EV, would be 0.2. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not huge.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's where the discipline comes into play, right? Because the system only works if you work the system, right?
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. So yes, we will have giveaways, but before you consider just getting a new account, whatever, just to try it, unless you're one of those guys that's just farming accounts, I don't know. What I would do is wait and find out, okay, do I have an edge? Do I have something that over 100 trades, 1,000 trades will generate more than it loses? That's the first thing you need to find out. That comes before everything else, before strategy, etc. So yeah, I've been blabbering a lot, but and I see I see Caesar focused on his screen there, printing.
It was some scalping.
Okay, probably printing 7 digits right here on the screen, or eight figures, or maybe those $1 trillion figures like SpaceX. We're working on it. Okay, let's add 9 zeros there.
I like when Caesar's focused, because Caesar, I don't know if they told you, but here at Fivers we have like a team. We all pool our tips. We all pool our NQ earnings here at the end of the day and divide them equally. So keep on cranking out those wins, and we'll handle the entertainment. No, I'm just. You didn't get that memo? Yeah. Check your email. It's there. No, so it's nice being with NQ traders. I'm scared, because it feels like the same as like a small cap trader almost. Like the ranges are just so much wider. I know you guys know what you're doing, and I'm just like, I got to get out of my box a little more. So it's cool hanging out with y'all. I want to see, how do you guys feel about this potential? I mean, I don't know how I should view this potential morning top of the session, this kind of higher low that we're seeing. for me in my system, the trade's already kind of been made. Do you guys, is this worth, like, has the juice been squoze for you today, or are you still thinking there's good trades outside of a 1 to 5 minute scalp here?
I think there's still some good trades outside of the last 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very early in the morning. Um, yeah, it's very early in the morning, so there's still a lot of potential.
Yeah, now that I think about it, cash session's been open half an hour. Why am I so antsy? We
Yeah,
got some liquidity here.
it
Yeah.
feels long. I think until we hit, 11:30 noon, there's definitely something. There's definitely possibility there soon. And as we're saying this, buyers are starting to step in again. So
Yeah.
I think there's definitely the more juice in this to the upside.
I'm here for it. I'm a student today, guys. I'm manning my new dashboard that I built, and I don't even know how to read some of these tools. I'm still having it all fit together in my brain here. So, I mean, hey, we are seeming to be gaining some traction here, and I'll be continuing to look for some updates on my little heat maps and Gex profiles and all sorts of fun stuff I got going on here. In general, it's still looking like we want to break through that top intraday.
Looks
and
like
push
we
up
want to
onto
break
that.
through it. Let's look at my ES. Okay, ES. This is where I would be adding.
Nice liquidity stacked above. We just ate through one wall, and we've got another 5 points up, another 10 points up or so from there. So I like that stair step in action to kind of guide us up to the promised land.
There we go. We're long 2 on the ES, seeing if we can get continuation to the upside. So what we don't want to see is this wick up with a volume increase. That would mean that, okay, we've topped, and we're gonna go lower, right? So we'll see.
I think we're just negotiating a flip
Stop
on.
is too tight.
So for me, what I'm kind of seeing is that this is kind of, if we take the next couple days, just the options chain out until Friday, and we take a look there, we're just kind of digesting flipping into that that positive gamma just for the next couple days. So if we can breach over this, like you're saying, we don't want to see the top wick on high volume, but if we can hold over, we have a lot of room up above. And if this was like an hour later, I'd be a little more 1 foot out the door here, but I think that we want through it. Let's see what we get. This will be a good case study either way.
Let's see. I love your screen there.
Oh, thank you. Let me show you what I got going here. So this is still very rudimentary, but I've been in the lab cooking, guys. So
Nice.
what this will be is the front end of what you guys might remember as the back end of the scanner. So this is the showing all of the kind of insides of what's happening with a little bit of a graphical interface showing right now just intraday. These are just the aggregate of all options premiums intraday and where they kind of are coalescing. We see this 7,400 being the big kind of pin. We're still about 25 points under, as we can see. So the draw is up if we can get over the flip. So the what I'm building here is going to be kind of a front end, just some neater charts on the front. But this is going to be the matrix here. We're in the matrix, guys. Basically showing how each day of the week, how these kind of gamma exposure profiles are progressing. So we can see these 3 days are the ones that matter. These are the days we're in the middle here, and then tomorrow and Friday. And I'm just noting the kind of bifurcation of either this 7350 node. We're just kind of, we've got a lot of kind of congestion there, but there is some pull down. But by the end of the week, we got a big split, either down at the 7,300 or up at 7,450. So I was hoping to get a little more of a hint on the CPI data. Actually, I'm a bad trader. I haven't even actually looked at what the numbers were. I've just been watching the price action.
Well, key core. I mean, CPI came out. Wait. So the one that caught my attention was core inflation month over month, which came out at 0.2%, and then the forecast was 0.3. Previous one was 0.4. Consensus was 0.3. So it seems to indicate that at least core inflation is less hot than they thought, but the other numbers came out a little bit higher, or as expected, actually. Okay. Year over year came in at 4.2. Consensus was 4.2. Inflation rate month over month 0.5 aligned. So, we had the initial spike there,
Mhm.
and then, yeah. But
That
we're
that's
looking at the technicals, so.
You're right. That's not enough of a that's enough of a inline print for me that I'm just gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll deal with
it's
that
kind of a
later. Let's look at this.
nothing burger.
Yeah, let's look at the technicals. So I'll just be monitoring this matrix here and seeing which side of these kind of starts to flesh out more, which side we see these kind of gamma exposure profiles starting to build towards. That can kind of give us a hint. So as long as we see these big pins still up above at 7,400, I think we want to get yanked up there another 20 points before we kind of make a decision. But yeah, thanks for letting me do my little show and tell, because I was up late working on this.
Sure. I like it. I saw, when you're in those airplanes and you see a bunch of screens, I was like, huh, I feel like I'm in an airplane right now. So
Absolutely. So
you can.
I can. What I need to learn how to do is share two screens at once, so you can bounce back and forth as you like between my different setups here. But yeah, this is the crazy back end that looks like a Doppler
Nice.
radar or something.
I don't know if you could share two screen, but what I do is I'll just share my entire screen. So, whatever window I bring into that particular screen, anybody could see it. So I could go in and out. That's how I flip from, so for example, if I put my screen back up, one sec.
Dave, if I show my whole screen, it's going to stress people out.
Nah, you're good.
There's so many windows open.
One screen here, same thing here. I just bought another screen, so I have 4 screens in front of me now. So I'll bounce from here to here. This way you could see, multiple things. Let's take a look at the rankings. By the way, guys, remember we have the Trading World Championship going on. Remember, we have new accounts available. We have 100K and a 150K available now. So, remember that. So, by the way, Wave, I like what Wave 5810 is saying. He's saying he's tested his strategy for the last 2 months, and it has a 35% win rate and a 1 to 5 risk reward over 83 trades. Okay.
That maths. If you can handle the emotional volatility, of only hitting 3 of your 10 trades, is that what he said?
35%. So it's 3 out of 10. Yeah. So he's losing seven times and winning 3 times. If your risk reward is 1 to 5, I mean, hey, mentally,
it's all about that mental game. For me, I couldn't handle being a breakout trader. Do I think 1 to 5 is low? Well, it's about how often that will transact. So it's all about that hit rate, like we're talking about. We got to do the math, and you can do okay with hitting 1 out of 5 trades if you have that 5 to 1 risk reward. It's just going to be very hard to weather through those the bad variance stretches where you're missing a few trades in a row and it feels really bad, right?
Yeah.
So if you're like a meaner version trader and you're only looking for 1 to 1 trades, you're only looking for small moves, you're willing to take a stop out if it goes above that, and you're just trying to stack those base hits, well, you won't have very many stretches of like 3, 4, 5 days in a row without a clean trade, right? You won't be missing a bunch of trades in a row. But if you're a breakout trader, that's just another week at the office. You're gonna have weeks where just nothing works, especially if you're trading a longer time frame. So it's just about your temperament, I think, and what
I think so too.
Yeah, what you're willing to put up with, because that's a lot of BS to put up with sometimes.
Indeed.
Left and right.
It's tough. I couldn't handle that type of win rate. I'm usually a 50-50 guy. Best case, I think best I ever had was 64. And then I'm usually able to hit 1.5, 2 to 1 type of trades. So it's going to depend on what works for you mentally. I couldn't handle that kind of win rate, but the 1 to 5s are great. For me, it's usually, I'm always 1 to 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1, whatever. And then I'll have the day where I'll hit a 5 to 1 or even a 10 to 1. And then that makes my month or the week or whatever, right? But it's just like, okay, it's always 50-50. I'm kind of treading water, staying above, and then boom, I hit a home run, and then we step up, and then we're just literally like a chart. It goes if equity curves is like that, you go like that, you consolidate, you go up, you consolidate, pull back, go up. That's what the equity curves looks like for me. By the way, guys, I hit out of the trade because mentally, I've been waiting forever. So this was my last trade for the day, at least on this account. We got the pullback. We didn't get the follow through immediately the way I wanted. This might go to the moon if it wants to, but for me, I'm out. I took 3 stabs, and this one was practically break even. The other ones didn't really work out, not because not because the asset didn't move up, but I just was risking way more than I should have. I was on the NQ. So that's going to be it for me on this particular account. And I hate the fact that we're just coiling right now. You know, we're gradually squeezing. Of course, this is a very tight frame, but we're gradually squeezing. And honestly, this could go either way. This could go up. This could go down. I'm not seeing the aggressiveness that I wanted when we got that increase in volume right here. Where is it? Right here, right? I wanted to see follow through to the upside, and we didn't get that. So for my temperament, I'm getting impatient and annoyed, and I know that's bad for trading, so I'm out.
All right.
I respect the heck out of that, Dave. Yeah. You know what? If it doesn't feel good, you won't trade it good. You know, if you're not don't have a good, like, you know, comfortable handle on what the parameters of the trade are. Because yeah, for me, when I'm looking at this, it only looks good on like an hourly if I'm patient. But again, it needs to fire that trigger. It needs to break over that 73.90. And for me, SPX level 73.90. So add 24 there.
Yeah, and this might totally take off, by the way, but it's gonna take off without me.
Yeah, we're only up 16 points on the day. Area I'm looking to re-enter long is going to be 29.65.
Let's switch to your screen, Caesar.
It is sharing.
Yeah, I was sharing mine.
So I'm looking to enter right here between 75 and 65. 15-minute is forming a bull flag. As you can see, we're already breaking out. But I'm gonna wait we have 1 more minute till this candle closes. I want to set my buy here at 65, or let's say 70, and my target will be the 200 EMA of 29,260.
29,260.
All right. I want to share my other screen, but it's on my other desktop to show my P&L on the day. Let me see if I can share that.
Caesar, I love the 200 moving average target as well. Those are such great kind of like intraday trend. Like, you know, if you're too far away from those and you start seeing proper structure, that's a great kind of midpoint, kind of like a VWAP exit there. So I use those a lot in my trading too. Love to see that.
Nice. Back to wave 58110. I just want to say, do I think 1.5 is logical? Hey, it is logical if you're able to hit those. It's going to depend. Just trust the data, right? And then run the data through an LLM. This way you'll have, you know, unbiased feedback. This is what I do. And yeah, you know, ask the chatbot not to agree with you, to just counter whatever you're saying or thinking, and you should get some good feedback. But if you're able to hit that over 83 trades, and I think that's good. The only thing you want to keep in mind, though, is that it's 2 months. It's over 2 months, and we will have different market regimes, right? If you were trading short only for the past, what is it? Let me put the daily chart. If you were short only from March all the way until beginning of June, or let's call it mid-May, you would have been struggling because the market just was going up. If you were now trading long that whole period, you would have thought you were a genius because you just had to buy and hold, and it was just going up. And of course, if you weren't risking too much. So just keep in mind that the stats might differ for a market regime. And apart from that, man, I mean, if you could get that, that's great. Those
Yes,
stats are
sir.
better than mine. So
Let's go. Let's go.
good on
Did
you.
anyone take that entry? Please, somebody tell me they took that entry.
That was clean, man. I saw
Close
it
Yep.
playing out
5.
there.
Yep.
Let's
I
go.
added. I have another position running, and I added.
Let's go. I'm gonna close out half at 140 and leave one runner. I'm not playing around today.
I like it.
2,
Yeah,
4,
they look like they want to smack it down. Honestly.
5,
Yeah.
6. I'm up 7,500 this morning.
Beautiful.
Wow, nice. Some pocket
Nice.
change.
So what I would say right here is just it's hard to read. It's coming back into that intraday kind of pin, that neckline, that zero gamma, that kind of congestion point, whatever you want to call it there, that 7380 SPX right around 7400. Yes, right.
You're up. You're up.
So, okay, sorry. Yeah, 7400 is the level on ES that we're contesting there. Just that congestion, this yellow area, this zero gamma here for the intraday. We could easily come back down, get magneted back down towards this node that is still sitting down here. It's a little bit smaller now, so this isn't 100% correct. Not live data on these bars here. Those are where the moving bars on the spreadsheet looking thing come into play. So I'll be updating that in a sec, but for now, this is good enough. This yellow line, I really need to see us get traction above it. And then we've got the same thing that kind of Caesar was looking at on a 15-minute. I'm just seeing on the hourly, once we get going, we've got a lot of room. It's essentially kind of a failed breakdown. Let me clean this up for y'all. We got this head and shoulders. We had the neckline, and it's a failed breakdown. And now we're trying to make this one push down, high or low, and break over here with the oscillators just turning out from oversold on the hourly. So a lot of room up. If we can get this pop above here, then we can start reaching for this big level up here, this big chunky red at 7450 ES, so 7480. I'm sorry, 7450 SPX, which is 7480-ish ES. So there's room to the upside. It just needs to break that pivot for me. Otherwise, it can easily go back in the casket, back down to 7350, 7325, and get stuck in the mud down there. Some of these bigger levels.
Stuck in the muck, like Jane likes to say.
Exactly. I knew that was rattling in my brain from somewhere, and that was Airplane Jane, all right.
Yeah, everybody has their saying here. You know, Caesar came up with one the other day. He was like, "Don't be anal." I'm like, "Oh, I'm keeping that one." So very soon I'll have many T-shirts made. You know, stuck in the muck is Jane. Alejandra is like, close your eyes and click, buy or sell, whatever. Steve has said so many wise things, yet I haven't kept one. I need one that's kind of stupid and ridiculous to make a better cool shirt. So
I'm trying to think of which ones I can say on stream. I've got some that are a little.
We don't want to get banned. How you doing, Keith?
Let's see. What do we? We're just playing footsies with this level,
we're just. I don't have the patience to hold this. At least not on this account that was underwater. So.
No, I'm just seeing this taking its sweet time to develop, which I think is good in constructive price action. We're putting in bottom wicks over the VWAP from the U.S. session here. I want to see it digest naturally, but the thing is, if this does break out, I think it will give us a back test. Sorry, lagging a little bit here, but I'll try to show you what I'm saying. I'd like to see a little push up to that 7,400 on SPX, little back test, maybe 10 to 20 points. Could be as shallow as that before we kind of continue to stair step our way up the wall. And this could be over the course of the next couple days here. But I think that we get the back test, and I think that we don't have to like really like force it. We never have to force it, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of looking at here.
Now, since I like to have multiple cases, I'm like, okay, but are we rolling over? Like,
well, yeah, we could. That's what I was kind of looking at, because it could be this. This is not a good.
You know, are we rolling over?
SPX.
This is SPX on my screen. Yeah. You can go to a little bit of a less twitchy time frame here. 5 minutes, give us a little bit of perspective. To me, I always have to entertain the possibility of this being a hard. I mean, it is a hard area, that big pivot. And what if we just need to come back down a little bit more to the 7,300, which we do see that 7,300, 7,350 in particular kind of lit up. These two big bars still lit up on my charts here for the next day or so. So we could see that pull down here. I'd really like to see that roll off if we're just going to scream to the upside and follow this green path. Otherwise, you have to entertain the possibility of saying, hey, this was a nice low, but if we can't break above, maybe we need to come back down before we move up.
Yep.
We shall see.
We shall see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Are we going to explode to the upside or not? Let's see.
I'm not liking the way this is looking right now. We're 30 minutes from, a little over 30 minutes from London close. And if you recall, since we're running up, we might see a little bit of a sell-off. So if this thing struggles in the next 15 minutes to get over 140, I'm just going to kill the whole trade and wait.
Yeah, 140 Nasdaq, by the way.
Yeah, I really want to see Nasdaq go 140. If it continues to stall, I'm just gonna take my ball and run.
I like that. And we're kind of just seeing like this upward consolidation right now, where it's all well and good if we're rebasing. This is high or low, kind of like an ascending triangle like that. Maybe comes down once more to form this higher low, then starts to break out. But when I see these higher lows being met with, selling pressure, it feels like this is unsustainable, and it could very easily just be a roll. And I like what Caesar was doing, who was saying, hey, I don't know where we go exactly. I know this is going to be a good place to buy, and we get a nice move off it. I'm taking some off. And just giving those possibilities of, hey, it doesn't have to do what we think it is, which, it seems to be, biased to the upside, but it's not super cooperative. Now looking a little bit better. So let's see if we
gradually looking better. Yep. This might be the breakout. We'll see.
See, it's looking good.
Sometimes you just got to yap until it works out, right?
I'm going to close out half here at 170.
I know what happened to me today. I forgot to add green arrows on the chart.
Oh, come on, Dave.
That's it. That's what happened.
On the Trade the Pool stream, we have the handoff between our, regular streamers. So Michael will always tell Josh, all right, it's your turn to hold the market up. Gotta make sure my kids eat. So,
there you go.
Whenever there's a strong recovery, we all say, thanks, Josh. Michael's kids get to eat another day. so
I like it.
We're putting the food on the table today.
200. There comes 200.
I like it. Yeah, we're taking off slowly.
Let's go. 200.
Beautiful. So, hey, it did the thing. It worked out. This ended up being a rebase, pushing out of this kind of higher low that we just saw, ascending triangle type beat through this yellow resistance we have up into my first bigger target. Whereas you can see, hey, guys, now we are in, at least for the intraday here, positive gamma. And actually, this is intra-week gamma. So for the next couple days, we have a little bit of room to push on up. And grain of salt on these levels. I'm just whipping stuff up in the lab here. Still got to confirm it all. That's where the testing comes in. But so far, seems like this is playing out. And I want to see if we can push up into this week, guys. Now that we got this close over here, and the hourly is looking a lot more appealing.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, 7,400. Still going to be sticky here. So about 10 points up on SPX. I really want to see what we do there.
Let's go. That's beautiful. Stop loss now set at 140 on a runner.
Yeah, so let's see. How do you calling that 140 for since this morning?
Yeah. A very important level. I mean, it was yesterday's daily close. The market gapped down at the 6 p.m. open. It came, it filled the gap, and then it just straight plummeted. So I know once momentum comes in, we usually end up testing, let's say, the prior daily high or the prior daily open or the prior daily close or low in reference to which side, of price it's at, right? So in this case, the prior daily close was to the upside. And again, I was very bullish overall today, just again taking into account the amount of selling off that we've done in since Friday, right? So we had Friday, Monday, Tuesday, massive sell-offs. And it wasn't even like it was, a 1%, 1.5%. We were talking 3%
insane.
plus, 5% plus, right? So this is that pressure reliever that I've been talking about, where once we have an extreme movement, I mean, this is almost, to me, it's like taking candy from a baby. Like it's daylight robbery because it's too easy
Daylight
for me
robbery.
to see like, okay, we sold off so much. Everyone might still be thinking like, oh, we're going down, we're going down. It's like, nah, read the tape.
Yep.
Take a look at the chart.
Yep.
Absolutely. I love that because it's Caesar, what you're kind of describing to me, and what I think is hard for a lot of newer traders is the big move. It isn't all one thing, right? So you get the big extension down that we got on Friday, and then Monday becomes this candy from a baby trade where if you know what to look for, once you get the right, check marks, ticked off, it's a really easy mean reversion trade for those kind of dead cat bounces, which is just a digestion of Friday's price action. So we're not needing to predict anything. The setup's already been laid out. The risk has already been laid out. The range has already been laid out. And we're just expecting a kind of fade back into the middle of that kind of range on a lot of times. Or, in this case, I mean, hey, we've got room to the upside once we kind of do the squat down and reset those oscillators, those kind of indicators. It really does provide the room for the next push up. I always say volatility is
Hey,
opportunity.
volatility. There you go. That's the
Like
t-shirt
that.
right there. Volatility. Yes.
Okay. It does feel like some Looney Tunes type stuff, to keep it PG. Yeah, where you're running off a cliff, and then hey, if you're in a changing gamma environment, like for example, we're dancing on top of zero gamma. If we lose that, well, all of a sudden, what was supportive, that buy the dip flow, becomes kind of like a road runner off a cliff scenario, where you can just go straight down. There's something there.
You get your screen back on. Yep. I don't know why I've been expecting us to just squeeze, but I guess we're not going to see that.
What type of a squeeze are you looking for, though? 'Cause I
Like
mean,
a
this has been
hockey puck.
pretty, like what? Like, are you talking like one of those like Trump tweet type of squeezes? Cause
I mean,
it's been
not that
gradual.
aggressive, but we've been coiling. So I was expecting some kind of just aggressive move either way.
I mean,
Try.
yeah. Today doesn't really call for it. I mean, the aggressive move was CPI, and then the open
I
right in
guess
was it?
that's where the
Yeah,
move
the
was. Yeah.
9:30 open where we had the pullback, we had the aggressive pullback, and I mean, look at that 115-minute candle from 28,771 all the way up to 29.91. I mean, you're looking at 300 point squeeze right there. So that was
Yeah.
aggressive, and then since then it started to bull flag on a 15-minute. I mean, it wasn't the cleanest or the sexiest bull flag, but you could kind of see it, right? And now we're just squeezing before the London close. We have about 30 minutes from London to close in order for us to then see maybe a little slight retracement. But yeah, today doesn't feel like one of those days like we're gonna have like a massive aggressive 600 point squeeze in one candle unless Trump comes out and tweets something or some kind of global disaster happens. We're not really going to see that type of aggression that you're looking for. But I mean, this is kind of decent. I mean, steady, slow, right? Lot crazy retracements. I mean, you're talking over 100 plus point retrace.
Yeah, I think that's my
Mm.
mistake. I'm forgetting that each of these candles is like a 50, 100 point candle.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
looking at it like, wait, what's going on there? But I think that's what's going on. Is like we're having these massive moves and I'm not realizing that, dude, like
Yeah.
we're each of these candles is like a whole daily range.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, unless you're kind of looking like, it seems like you might have gotten a little accustomed to, events like Friday or when we're seeing, these massive rips. But yeah, I mean, today is kind of like I would say this is like a chill, nice, slow grind, which I really like. Just, easy, play the range, right? You mark your
Yeah.
levels off, comes down to the bottom of your range where, price is at a discount, you buy. We know the direction is up, right? So, well, at least for me, based on like what I'm looking at, we know we're heading higher, right? And then if you look again, like look at how much NQ is up at the current moment. It's only up 36 points, right? On average, we'll see NQ, positive 400 points on a day, negative 3, 4, 500 points on the day. So with this being said, there's still a lot of room to the upside, especially if it
Yeah.
maintains holding above, if it maintains holding above 29.65, right? That level I called out. I mean, we could end up seeing this at 29.4 and change. I have that 4 hour level at 29.419, so we could see that,
Mm.
right? High probability, yes, but doesn't mean like, it's written in stone that it's actually going to happen. And right now you see, look, we're getting closer to the London close. We're getting that retracement. I'm fully out of this position. I wanted to see that 15-minute candle close, which we did. I took some off at 200, set my stop loss at 140, and I'm all liquid.
Yeah, you're good. I definitely think we might see 415 today. So you said 419. I'm close to you. I'm
Yeah.
thinking for around 415. So
Yeah,
give or
can you
take
see
a
my
couple
level
of
at the top?
points.
Right here, this one, the 4 hour. So the red is four
Yeah.
hour. Yeah, so 4 hour, 435 was yesterday's daily open, right? So we could also retest that if we stay holding over 140.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm,
definitely
ye-
possible here. Just thought it would be, a more aggressive move, which is why I kind of got a little bit impatient, at least on this account. I'm green on my other account, fully out.
Nice.
And yeah, why I decided, all right, I'm not seeing what I want to see at the speed that I wanted to see it, so I'm just out.
I'm wondering, guys. I'm just wondering, looking at my weekly matrix here, just wondering if maybe today and tomorrow we're just gonna have heavier days because there's just more of a magnet below, and then we don't see a kind of reduction of that pin for a little bit. So what I'm talking about in particular, if I could yank your screen for just one
Yeah,
second.
just one sec. I forgot to
Yeah, take your time.
DJ you in.
Chicka chicka. There we go. On the ones and twos there. So just really quickly, the only things I want to point out. So day 3 here. I know, forgive the lack of polish. This is today. Day 4 is tomorrow. Day 3 or day 5 is going to be Friday. So I'm just noting current price yellow strike here, give or take a few handles. Yeah, actually that's accurate. These big nodes are still king here today. The 73.50, 73.45, call it 73.50 overall, that kind of area. And then tomorrow we have that kind of staggered stair stepping. It's still these two big nodes. See, big purple node here, big purple node here. Then they kind of bump them up just a little bit. And then we also start to see on Friday these bigger nodes starting to light up to the upside of the range, 74.50, 100 points up or so on SPY. So I'm just wondering if maybe we need to come back down a little. 73.50 on SPX would be roughly holding like the open today. So maybe we come back and retest the open today or tomorrow and then get the nice kind of push up 100 points that we're looking for. That's what I'd like to see based on SPX path. But again, very big grain of salt. This is very early early days of proprietary coding, so I don't want to make anybody think it's like a slam dunk here.
Yep.
I'm watching and learning too, but that's what I wanted to show you there.
All right. Well, let's see what happens in the next couple of days. By the way, you guys are the equity guys, and since we're kind of off out of our positions right now, just staring at these charts.
Mhm.
IPO, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Are you like, no, this makes zero sense, whatever, which is probably not your opinion, or are you taking out a third, fourth mortgage to just buy everything you want to buy? Cutting off your arms and legs, selling them, pawning them. What are you guys thinking? Or you're just like, guys, I'm a trader. I'm gonna look at what the technicals say, what the my thesis is, and then I'll pick my spots there. So I want both of your opinions. Whoever wants to
Right.
start can go ahead. But
I'm not buying
yeah,
SpaceX. I'm not buying SpaceX just because I'm expecting that it's going to open higher than its opening price. And for me, I've never cared to buy IPOs on their initial offering because, especially when they're hype, right? So what I do is I'll wait for a discounted price. I love discounts. So it's projected to open at like what, in the 130s or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
mhm.
I'm thinking it'll probably end up popping to 300. I would want to pick it up under its offering price. So if its offering price is 130, I want to pick it up somewhere between the hundreds or sub hundreds. What I will play, or what I have been playing, is initially I played TSLL, which is a 2x bullish ETF on Tesla, right? Because I'm projecting that Tesla and SpaceX might do some merger, or Tesla would move on the strength that, its affiliation with Elon, and Elon, being the head of SpaceX, which it did, the play did work out. I picked it up at 12, I unwinded at 17, I recently added back in at 13, expecting that Tesla will spike on Friday on SpaceX's IPO. Another thing I'd like to do is I want to look for stocks that are in relation with SpaceX, right? So who's providing them with their components? Who's doing what for them, right? So those companies, in my opinion, are going to offer a greater ROI. A lot of
Mhm.
people are like, oh, people that buy SpaceX, they're going to become billionaires and millionaires. No, the people that are going to become billionaires and multimillionaires off of SpaceX's IPO are the people that were in SpaceX in the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
the people dumping the stock on the
Because
public.
yeah,
Exactly.
the company is only generating what? I think it's like 1.8 billion a year or something
Uh,
like that, and it's being valuated at 4 trillion. Amazon
Silly.
with a T.
makes more, like 5, 10x more than it, and Amazon is nowhere that evaluation of SpaceX, right?
Yeah, the number
So
is, I'll give you the number. They're evaluating SpaceX at 180 times what it's worth. And when it was the Amazon, it was just 8 times.
yeah,
These are the numbers.
I will be annoying. I'll be the devil's advocate here.
Please
Guys,
do.
it's a space company. What demands a higher multiple than a freaking space company? We're
Yeah,
building
it's
rockets,
going
we're
to the moon, right?
cultivating Mars. You guys are worried about
you
PEs.
go
Come
Star
on,
Wars
get out
now.
of here. I,
Yeah,
I, I'm
next.
not saying buy. I'm shilling for Elon here. What I am saying, what do we know about fair value? I mean, I don't know. I'll be obnoxious there. I'm totally with you guys. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this pile of, I don't know what the heck it is. But what I'm looking for, similar to what Caesar's saying, is I'm looking for the sympathy plays. I'm looking around the market and seeing what's going to move with this. For me, the easiest kind of barometer for the whole sector is, well, an ETF. So I'm looking at NASA. I'm looking at NASA here, and let's see, is my chart? Oh, I probably have the wrong one pulled up. Let me flip on over to that. Yeah,
No
just
problem.
NASA, I think, is a nice kind of just analog for it and can kind of help gauge interest here. Well, today or yesterday, I should say, we lost equilibrium of the range.
I'm getting you
Oh,
loaded
that's a
here. Yep.
nice that's a nice intro. That's
Yeah, man, we're
clean and
looking
shiny.
better, more professional.
I love it. I love it. We're nipping at your heels over at Trader. Or sorry, Trade the Pool. We got we got a little graphic of me when I make a good trade. It's like a little leprechaun or something
Oh,
with a bag
really?
of gold. It's not
Nice,
really. I'm just giving my producer a hard time, but it's so fun leveling up with all y'all.
nice, nice. No,
We're
you guys
seeing
are way
movement.
ahead. You have your whole intro and everything. We need to step it up here.
There's enough shine for all of us here. It's good stuff both ways. Speaking of, I don't know. Speaking of good stuff, maybe not the best segue, but NASA. I'm looking at this uptrend line. I'm looking at this equilibrium level. I bet you it's some kind of head and shoulders here. I bet we come down a little, and it gets a kind of secondary pop with the rest of the stuff here as we do get the actual print in a day or two. In general, I'm just never smarter than my moving averages, so I'm looking at the moving averages of some of my favorites. Well, I guess I should turn them on. That would probably help. The metaphorical looking at. There we
And
go.
by
So,
the way, let me jump in. By the
sure.
way, for anybody who's wondering why we're talking about SpaceX on a futures chart. Well, you guys got to remember, we're trading the indices, we're trading the Nasdaq, we're trading the ES, gold, etc. But specifically those indexes, and they have to buy the beep assets, right? They have to buy. So that's why we're talking about it. It is definitely gonna influence the market.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Also, something that I mean most people don't know is like, all right, so SpaceX is going to be listed on the Nasdaq, right? And they were also trying to get listed on the S&P 500, but they
Yeah.
got denied because most people don't understand is that every index has certain requirements in order for a company to be listed, right? So on the S&P 500, on the Nasdaq, on the Dow Jones, companies have to either maintain a certain market cap or a certain earning return over over a year or so. There's a year wait list after initial IPOing. There's a year list to be able to be listed on the S&P plus the market cap and the earnings. So SpaceX was trying to bypass that whole aspect and get listed right away. And S&P, the people at the S&P 500 was like, no, there's a wait list. Period. No favoritism, no nothing. So some people were like, talking smack about it, but I'm like, the rules are the rules. Like, it has to apply to everyone. Yes, you might get favorable treatment at some point in certain areas, but I really respect the fact that the people at the S&P was just like, no, you gotta wait. We don't care who you are. You could be Donald Trump for all we care. You're waiting.
Yeah,
Caesar, I love that. It's like a good bouncer, right? It's like I don't care how hot you are, you got to wait in the line like the rest of us, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Because Elon's kind of playing the hot girl at the party club,
Yeah.
card here.
exactly.
It's like, oh, you guys all want me, don't you? I'm gonna set the rules, and it's like, yeah, okay, but whose pensions are gonna be automatically enrolled to buy this pile of, whatever you want to call it, which is essentially, I mean, let's be real, guys. We know that IPOs are one of the most pure, unadulterated edges left in this market. Not for us little guys, though. It's for the guys already in who are going to
Hmm.
sell to us. That's
Yeah.
one of the most well-defined edges. IPOs happen, they get sold hard. I'll give you, as I yap here for 30 seconds, I'll give you a few screenshots of what happens after IPOs. IPO.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We got
They don't know. They're
RKT.
about to find out, man. IPOs. I mean, you have a massive few days or months of just selling off. Then it finds the bottoms. Like, do I believe in? One thing I firmly believe is like never bet against Elon, right? Like, especially like,
That's what
I mean,
everybody's been
that's been my
saying.
argument with people when it came to Tesla. It's like, oh, Tesla's this, Tesla. I'm like, if y'all don't know, I was like, what is it? Bill Gates at one point betted against
Oh,
Elon. He
yeah.
lost billions. Okay, billions. So one thing I've learned, especially like the way he operates, and the man is just a straight machine, right? And he's a visionary. So I'm like, yo, you don't bet against someone like that. And every time Tesla's been at a massive discount, I'm like, yo, this is a buy. Oh, but Elon was on Joe Rogan smoking weed. So what? That doesn't that
That's a
doesn't hinder
buyout.
him from doing what he needs to do, right?
Yeah.
Market shares drop. A couple weeks later, something came out. They were projecting to produce more Tesla vehicles. And the thing about Tesla's like people think they're a car company. They're not a car company. They are a data gathering company. Every single Tesla out there is basically a robot
Mhm.
collecting information. So I'm like, dude, like they're not a car company. They're a tech
See,
company. So
Caesar, I love
never
it
bet
so
against Elon.
much.
That's the one thing I've learned in the past
Yeah.
is never bet against them.
Sorry,
So
sorry to.
I say that in reference to SpaceX. Yes, I'm not going to buy it initially, but I will be looking to buy it at a discount. The minute that thing gets under $100, I'm buying some.
I love it. Sorry, I just got antsy there because I just love what you're saying. So many good things. I do think that you don't bet against Elon, and this will be an amazing buy. It's just about waiting for that moment, like you're saying, not getting caught into that hype and everything else. Um, Let me see. Sorry, what were you saying right before this? It was so good. You said like four things that were really good and set off some light bulbs in my head. Do you happen
Well,
to
so
remember?
so people think that Tesla's a car company. It's
Oh
not a car
yes.
company. It's
Mhm,
a data gathering company, right? So
mhm,
like especially in the space that like we're in the tech saga, but it's still in the infancy state, right? So there's a lot of growth for tech, automation, virtual reality, and people are getting more and more into the digital space. So it's like what company and all of this has to do with gathering data, gathering how people react and so forth, right? Even I mean, bro, even lights like traffic lights,
mhm.
the motion of traffic, right? All of these are running on algorithms that have gathered a certain amount of information. And what company is gathering these types of information on a day-to-day basis? Tesla,
I
Yep.
love it. Yeah.
amongst the other things, right? Which is why he bought Twitter, right? Twitter is gathering people speaking about things, topics, right? So when you understand what topics are interesting people, what they're talking about, how often they're on Twitter, messaging or this, that, and the third, right? You're gathering all of these data, which then in turn, you can use it to market to advertise to them, right, specific products or so forth, or you could be able to learn people's behavior. So the one company out there that is collecting data free and willy, like from everyone, is Tesla and X.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I mean, I'm curious to see like how he's going to implement it. Even coming out with that, what's that chip that they embedded, which they
oh,
already have a
Neuralink.
live trial of
Neuralink.
Yeah,
that.
Neuralink.
The Neuralink, bro.
It's
Like,
wild.
I'm like,
See,
what?
Caesar, it's so cool. I'm absolutely with you. It's so funny to me when people are talking about Tesla. When it was at 100, all you would hear is it still is so overpriced. Look at Ford's valuations. Look at General Motors valuations. I'd be like, look at Snowflake's valuations. Look at Rivian's valuations. Stuff like that when it came out. My whole thing is, yeah, you're never buying Tesla because you're like, I want a dependable car company with car company economics and fundamentals. No, you're buying it to juice the heck out of your port if we get the moon mission, Kathy Wood's utopian future that, with it, that they keep trying to sell us. So it might be complete snake oil. Every single quarter, Elon might come out and over promise, under deliver. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter because he represents the great hope for the tech future, for the tech bubble that, so to speak, which is not a bubble, guys. Go check out those .com valuations. We got room. And if so, you want a little bit of Tesla in your port, and so do these big hedge funds, because it represents the moonshot play in a market cap that isn't a complete pile of crap. Like it's got that motion, as we say. So it's a proxy for all for like Caesar was saying, for data center plays or for AI or information gathering. How about it's a proxy for automation in general or robotics as well? So all of these, if you want a vector for these type of plays and you're a large institution, this is a great way to play that angle. So I just wanted to mention that nobody's buying them because they're a car company. So stop saying they should be valued like one. And one other thing, just as a kind of little fun anecdote, you're talking about how the data is really the real story. That's the real product. So much so that you have no idea, guys, how hard companies can pivot if they have that data, and all of a sudden, 5 years later, they turn a corner and it's like, well, what can we do with this? Well, for example, the company that did Pokemon Go, that fun game that went around and you'd take pictures of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you signed some agreements when you did that, and you just basically crowdsourced a massive amount of mapping. Basically they took that, they ran with it, and now they're a geospatial like satellite or like a information company essentially, where they have one of the first or one of the most robust. In the same way you have large language like models, well, this is like a large spatial model.
Yep.
This is Pokemon Go we're talking about. Now they're looking at contracts from countries for like global like cyber or geolocation security, geopolitical stuff. This is Pokemon, guys. Like
Yeah,
data is king.
I think probably what's likely to happen is kind of like what happened, with Tesla, where everybody wants to bet against Elon, but
Mhm.
unfortunately or unfortunately, whatever side you want to take, Elon is Elon. If you look at the past, I mean, if you have Tesla pulled up, zoom back all the way to July 2010,
Yep.
put it on the daily chart maybe, and we could see, where it went from the beginning.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's
It's
far in back in the ice age.
in the before
Um
times. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll get there. Sorry. Keep
So no,
talking.
you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. But yeah, so like Caesar was saying, don't want to bet against Elon. I mean, crazy things might happen. There are piles and piles and piles of cash sitting on the sidelines needing stuff to buy, and this might be one, right? You might, let's call it, opens at 130, 150, 200, whatever, creators back down to $100, below 100. Remember, $100 is a key number.
Yeah.
Stocks that IPO below that, once they reach $100, that's a big number, right? We're gonna be around that number just starting off the bat. So I think this equity is gonna do things that people wouldn't expect, and I think honestly it's gonna replace Nvidia. You see how Nvidia has been moving the
Oh,
market? Yeah, honestly, that is my call.
Whoa.
I think, for better or worse, SpaceX is gonna be the new Nvidia, the new piece that moves the market, at least for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep an eye on this chart then, the Tesla over Nvidia ratio chart. To me, looking like a bear flag might be breaking down, but hey, that could be short term. This will be really interesting, and that's a heck of a call, Dave. So
Yeah, I mean, you remember Tesla for a while was the asset there. You always have that big player. I mean, it was yeah, we have the Max 7 whatever, but there's always that one big player. It was Tesla for a while, right? You're talking 20, let's say 2019
yeah, no,
all the way
absolutely.
to 21,
But that
and
was
then
when, like, I mean, Tesla was running pretty tremendously. I mean, Tesla ran from like 200 all the way to like 1,000. It did the reverse split, right?
yeah,
So for a period of time, Tesla was the one that was really holding and controlling
yeah,
the Nasdaq.
for a
But then
good
it came
three
to
four
a
years.
point. I believe I was after that Joe Rogan interview that Elon did on with Joe Rogan, where he was
Yep.
smoking marijuana, where like he fell out of favor with investors, and they rotated over to Nvidia. And ever since then, I mean, Nvidia was beating their earnings left and right tremendously,
Totally
which
agree.
kept propping up the market. With 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 SpaceX, I mean, it's like space is yes the new frontier. So I'm just curious to see like exactly what type of I guess utility they're going to be providing, right? So whereas with Tesla, they're gathering data. In Nvidia, it's chips, right? And chips and what they're doing, we need that for the data centers. We need that for the AI race, right? We need that for these virtual reality spaces that they're building. So I would want to see specifically, what SpaceX utility to the overall tech sector and to overall society, aside from, okay, yeah, we're working on possibly bringing people to Mars. Okay, you want to do that, but let's think of it let's think of it from a financial stance, right? How
No.
many people are going to be able to
Yeah.
afford to
No.
go to space?
No, that's exactly my point. No, that's not what I'm thinking at all. I'm thinking this makes zero sense. I agree with you. It needs to make more. There needs to be utility, whatever. Tesla, you were talking about, it's a software company that's gathering data, whatever. You know what I've seen in the market, okay? I think this might become the new GameStop. It makes zero sense why it's going up, but it's just going up and you just can't find it, can't fight it. And
Yep.
people are getting squeezed, whatever. It's just the new
I
theme.
definitely
It's
agree
the
with
new
that.
theme for the next 2, 3 years, whatever you want to call it, until something happens. But I think that's highly likely. And I want to record this and save it somewhere in
I
case I'm
definitely think it's
wrong.
gonna go up. I mean, I definitely agree it's gonna go up,
I
like as far as
I
that. But to have such weight, is there a demand for SpaceX? Absolutely. I mean, it's the new toy, right? Everybody wants the new toy. Some people are gonna substantially get hurt because again, as this thing IPOs and goes public, there's individuals that are waiting to unwind their position because they're in from. I mean, let's just say they're in from $1, right?
yeah.
And you're about to unwind a portion of your position at 200, 250. What's that going to do? It's going to cause it's going to cause price to drop. Then you have the natural bears, which again, if there's enough demand, which seems there is, this thing is just going to gap up, gap up, gap up. But eventually, that craze and that I guess like that euphoria of it is going to die down. And when that dies down, then we can start to see possibly fundamentals and other things comes into it. But I definitely agree with you that it is gonna run up. I mean, we had the Friday live stream, and we were all talking about what we're seeing. SpaceX, it's gonna be come the closing bell, right? I'm thinking it's gonna gap up at least over $200 when it comes to the initial IPO, above whatever it's projected to open. probably run up a good 100 to maybe 200 points, and then somewhat maybe flop towards the end of the day. Possibility, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested to see. Like I said, I really want to see what's their utility. What aside from the whole going to space, like what else are they going to be bringing and offering? If they, I mean, if it's something that's revolutionary, then yeah, I mean, this thing could definitely do what you're saying as far as it takes over, holding the tech market up like Nvidia has done or like Tesla has done in the past years.
I'm saying the market, you said keyword, you said euphoria. Okay. I think that euphoria is going to be much longer lasting than we think. I think the market is going to stay irrational for a much longer time than we think.
It's
Right.
possible.
And then this thing is going to just move the market for a while. And then the market will decide, okay, this is just makes zero sense. And then the asset is just going to crater, or it's going to go, I'm not even going to say to the moon because we're talking about Mars. It's going to go to Mars. So we'll see. But I might be 1,000% wrong. As a matter of fact, I would prefer to be wrong because I don't see the utility just yet. There's far more valuable companies out there. I'm not gonna give my personal opinion on Elon live, but whatever. Whoever wants to read
Don't
between
come at my guy.
whoever wants to read between the lines. I'm not a hater, but
I'll say it,
leave it at
Dave. I'm
that.
a hater. I'll be the villain. I'll be the heel. But I'm not shorting Tesla. Those can be two different things,
Exactly.
Art of the artist, right?
Exactly. I like that. So yeah, I think we are gonna see a lot of irrational things happen, right? I would prefer that not to happen, but I think we're gonna see a lot of irrational things happen. I think Nvidia is going to take a back seat. I don't know why I'm so hyped. I haven't even had coffee. Nvidia is going to take a back seat, and then this IPO is just going to move the market for a while, for I don't know, 2-3 years, whatever you want to call it, until everybody's like, whoa, wait a minute. We need to think this through. So that's my call. We'll see. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Okay. And then we'll see, because I'm not buying it at any price.
You're not buying it.
I'm not buying it at
Ever.
all. I'm not gonna say ever. I've said ever to things, and then, I end up doing the other thing. I'm not gonna say ever, but for now, for the next foreseeable future, for the next year, I'm not buying it. Right. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not even gonna trade it.
Okay. I mean, I feel you on that. I mean, but I'm telling you, if I see it, I'm not gonna try to short it just because probably like to short it is. I mean, shares are gonna be hard to get, right? Locations are gonna be hard, and if you
Yep.
do find some, I mean, they're probably gonna be charging a hefty premium for it. And honestly, I don't care to pay an extra 800 to 1,000 just to be able to short a couple hundred shares of a company. So I'd rather just wait.
Yeah.
I'll stick with my futures. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Well,
We
There you
Caesar,
go.
we don't have to worry about not finding shorts.
this is a great time. I would be remiss if I didn't do my due diligence here and go to bat for Trade the Pool, because this is the great thing. You don't have to locate shares with Trade the Pool. You can just hop on in. The water's fine, try on a short, see how it works, see if you catch the big move. If you don't, well, your risk is protected. If you do, well, you can turn that into some real money real quick. So if you're looking to short SpaceX, you know where to look. We're going to
You know where to look.
We're
You
going
know
to be
where to
handing
look.
out those shares, so to
You know
so
where
to
to look.
speak.
And then if
and
you
we're-
want to keep your sanity, just short the ES future
There you go.
and the Nasdaq.
Speaking of which, we've got quite a sell-off today. I know we got to head out, but I just wanted to leave my last little spiel
fine.
here. So guys, we have a couple sets of levels here. This is the weekly set, and looking at this, you see the zero gamma for the week. We came up, we tried to break above, we tried to break up through this yellow bar and into the promised land of this next big bar to the top side here. But really, we just got stalled out really hard up here. We found a seller and we gravitated back on down towards this magnet. So that's the weekly, showing why I think we rejected there. I think it just needs some time. Remember, we were talking about the potential need to come down for this higher low.
Yep.
And now if we switch on over here, yonder, we can see this is the intraday. I just updated this gamma exposure profile just for into today. So very finicky, you know, very grain of salt, fine tooth comb here, but you can see that this is really the make or break, this area here, this 73.31 on SPX, so 73.50 on ES, and down just another 10 points or so. If we can hold that, we can try to higher low and push here. But if we lose this, we might see a pretty swift mark down to the 7,300 set to 72.75 kind of node down there. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. Once we do get over this pivot, the 7,400 SPX, 74.25-ish ES, that's when I think we can really get the expansion upwards.
All righty. Well, I like that. On that note, I really like the exchange, guys. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, week, and evening. And yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern. All right. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.